Hello, beautiful viewers, whoever you are, wherever you're from, wherever you're watching us from. This is your favorite show, Stoa, Sweet Tales of Africa. Journey with me as I take you across the length and breadth of this wonderful and beautiful ancient continent, Africa. Now today, we'll be going to the south of Africa, a journey that we will be able to see a lot of beauty in a country I call Zimbabwe. Maneru Maskera say, how are you doing? Beautiful viewers, like I said, today is all about a country in the south of Africa called Zimbabwe. Now, Zimbabwe got their independence in April 1980. Zimbabwe was formerly called Rhodesia, and their capital is Harare. Now, Zimbabwe has a population of over 15 million, and their president after colonization was Robert Mugabe, who I see as a freedom fighter. And currently, we have Emerson Mnangagwa in Zimbabwe. So today we'll be talking much about a legend in Zimbabwe who is gifted with the power of making music, and he is none other than Oliver Mtukudzi. Beautiful viewers, more on Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is a beautiful country, tourist destination. I've not been there myself, but I have testimony of people that have been in Zimbabwe. I have brothers that have been in Zimbabwe, and I have friends that came from Zimbabwe, and they told me much about Zimbabwe, the beauty, the culture, the people, the landscape, the weather, the climate, everything is just beautiful in Zimbabwe. So I will want you to go to Zimbabwe. I myself, I can't wait to be in Zimbabwe. So today we'll talk about a legend, like I told you earlier, a legend in Zimbabwe who was gifted in making music, and he is Oliver Mtukudzi. Oliver Mtukudzi was a great man, and he did a lot for Africa and beyond. And today we'll talk about him. We are going to say much about his music and also what he has done in terms of him being a humanitarian and also a philanthropist. So we'll go with Oliver Mtukudzi, and this is his first song that we are going to give to you today, and the song is called Tosesa Baba, which means responsibility, and this song talks about abuse in a relationship. That relationships are not supposed to be hostile. Relationships are supposed to be places where people are supposed to enjoy themselves, places where people are supposed to grow, being happy, understand each other, tolerate, and be able to build up a home together. So we go with this song. Welcome back from the short break. I hope you enjoyed that song. I love that song. That's one of my favorites of Oliver Mtukudzi, and I hope you really love that song. And I hope we've learned from the message that Oliver was trying to pass through that song. That was a beautiful piece of music there. And like I said, we'll still talk about Oliver. We'll still bring you more of Oliver, and we'll continue from here. Oliver Mtukudzi, like they call him Tuku because of his music, and he's the king of Tuku music because they can't actually place his music on a specific genre, and they just have to say Tuku music because of his music is just unique, it's just special. So he was just a talent, he was a God-given gift to us, and we just wish that the legend continues. To me, though, he's no more with us physically, but Oliver is alive. So let me take you through a brief history about Oliver, and then we continue. Oliver Mtukudzi was born on September 22nd, 1952 in Highfield, Harare, Zimbabwe. Oliver is the eldest son in a family of 7. So you can see how responsible Oliver will have to be, because as an elder son in Africa, you will have to be very, very responsible. You will have to step up in order to make sure that your siblings follow suit. And he was so responsible that his brothers and his sisters followed his way, and he really took care of his siblings, and he was very responsible. Like I said, Oliver Mtukudzi was a legend. He is a hero for Africa and beyond. Um, Oliver was not only a musician or gifted with the voice of singing, his husky golden voice, like I like to call it, but Oliver was also a humanitarian, a philanthropist. Oliver was an ambassador of UNICEF for Southern African region. Oliver has worked for humanity. He has worked for the people of Africa and the people of the world in general. Oliver started his music with a band called the Wagon Wheels, and then later he moved on to form his own band, which is called the Black Spirits. And there he was able to make a career internationally and also in Zimbabwe and around Africa. So Oliver has done a lot in music, and this is another of his song, and I want you to enjoy. We'll come back for more of Oliver.
Oh, Toddy, what shall we do? Sinzinjan,
what shall we do?
Vazvababata pamuriri pasina rarambo. Vazvabatumbuka pamuriri pasina rarambo. Yeah, Toddy, what shall we do? Sinzinjan,
What shall we do?
oh, Toddy, what shall we do?
What shall we do?
Welcome back, beautiful viewers. Wherever you're watching us from, this is Toa Sweet Tales of Africa. So we continue with Oliver Mtukudzi, and he's a legend, a son of Africa from Zimbabwe. Oliver Mtukudzi also had great songs like the one we just watched, which is Todi. Todi is a song that he wrote after he had an experience that was not pleasant for any human being. It was a serious experience. Um, Many human beings will not find it easy to go through it or to live through it, but Oliver went through it all. Todi was a song that he wrote when he lost four band members, including his brother, to HIV and AIDS. And HIV and AIDS in those days was not a topic that people talk about or people like to mention. It was like a taboo in the society. So Oliver had to write this song today and sing about HIV and AIDS. So we have to talk about it, because when we don't talk about an issue, it won't help. It only gets serious. So Oliver had to write this song, and I can tell you, this is the song that introduced me to Oliver Mtukudzi. This is the first song I heard of Oliver Mtukudzi, and I thought I had everything until I started following this legend. Then I knew that Africa really produced great stars, legends, and heroes like Oliver Mtukudzi. So, to remind you, this show is coming to you all the way from Gambia, Daranka, in a place called the Elephant Tree. The Elephant Tree is a place rich with culture, heritage, and beautiful sights. If you want to watch birds, if you want to see the countryside, if you want to go around the place, it's just so beautiful. This is Stoa, Sweet Tales from Africa. We'll come back for the last piece of Oliver Mtukudzi. Let's go with this musical break.
Nai mwana wangu uripi, unani? Nai mwana wangu unani? Uripi. Nai mwana wangu uripi, unani? Nai mwana wangu unani? Uripi.
Peragata mana Smaravira Sequando Peragata mana iwe Smaravira Sequando Peragata mana segana Peragata serio Smaravira Sequando
Nai mwana wangu uripi, unani? Nai mwana wangu unani? Uripi.
Welcome back from that short music break. I hope you enjoyed the song. I love the song. Like I said, Oliver Mtukudzi is a legend, and we thank God, the Almighty, for giving Oliver Mtukudzi to Africans and to the world. For me, especially, Oliver Mtukudzi made me to fall in love with Africa more, and to be proud of being an African, most especially. And Oliver Mtukudzi's music and his work for humanity, for his society, for Africa, has inspired me much. to believe in myself and to believe in Africa, that Africa has got it, that Africa has the potential, that Africa is ready to be a superpower in the world, that we just have to know who we are, what we have. Africa is beautiful, Africa is rich. So Oliver's story has really taught me that Africa is one of the greatest continents in the whole universe. So we'll continue with the story of Oliver. Like I said, Oliver Mtukudzi had a career in music that spanned over 30 years. And he has done a lot. He has gone around the world. He has toured around the world. He has gone around Africa. But Oliver passed away, and that was a really, really big blow to Africa and to the world. That was a big shock to Africa and to the world. That was a great loss. It was a colossal loss to Africa when he passed away. But like I said, Oliver passed away physically or whatsoever you might want to call it. But I still believe that Oliver Mtukudzi is still living because of his work and his music, because of his humanitarian work to the world, to his music. To me, Oliver Mtukudzi was just more than a musician, but he was a freedom fighter. Oliver's music addressed a lot of issues of the society, of people, of their struggles, of their daily life. So Oliver's life reflected the real truth and the real picture of Africa, to show that Africa has got the potential, Africa has got the people, Africa has got the talent. Beautiful viewers, let's go for a musical break. And when we come back, I have someone in the studio. We are going to talk about Oliver Mtukudzi, and then we'll talk about Africa as a whole, and then we'll move on. See you from this musical break. Welcome back from that musical break. Like I said, that was a very inspiring story of Oliver Mtukudzi from Zimbabwe, a son of Africa. And in the studio right now with me, I have a guest. We'll be talking about Africa in general, and also about Oliver Mtukudzi in perspective. Welcome, my friend and my brother, Mr. Sanya. Welcome to Stoa.
Thank you for having me.
Like I said, Africa is blessed, is just beautiful, and I would like us to talk about a little bit about Africa and a little bit about what we've just done about Oliver. Mr. Sanyan, what will you say about the story of Oliver? How? What do you see? What do you think about Africa when you see or when you hear stories like this, especially a story like Oliver Mtukudzi?
I feel great. I feel impressed anytime I hear anything about Africa. Oliver was a great man. He was a great musician. You said he once took the music of Africa to another level. He's no more with us, but his music still lives. Oliver was not only a musician, he was a freedom fighter, like you said.
Yeah.
Oliver was somebody that really motivated most of the African people and really fought for the freedom of a lot of Africans by speech or through music. Oliver, he was just a great man,
a great son of Africa. Yeah. You know, when we were growing or when we were in school, most of the time when we watch television or when we read stories or newspapers, every time we watch stories or newspapers, what we see is an image of Africa that is like Africa is just a dark continent, a continent that is with no hope.
Yeah.
What you see is just pictures of war,
that is what they
desolation,
show. Yeah.
and you know.
That is the media, the media in Europe for you. That is what they do. They never show the good side of us. What they do is showing those images, like you said, the images of war,
Poverty, hunger, you know, violence.
Yeah.
You know, images of people like that are not aware.
Yeah.
People without no hope, people with no potentials.
We have people who visited Europe or in the Americas or Asia, and they told me, people asked them questions like, do you people have houses?
Oh, they thought we are still living in trees.
Yes,
we live in trees.
They will ask, where do you people sleep? Do you sleep in trees? Do you sleep in the forest? Do you have houses?
Or if was caves. Maybe they thought we are living in caves. But stories like Oliver Mtukudzi, people like Oliver Mtukudzi will tell you that Africa is not just a continent or the perception that the world sees out there, but Africa is definitely great, with a lot of great people like Oliver Mtukudzi. Look at what he has done. He has been
exactly
an ambassador, goodwill ambassador with UNICEF of the region of South Africa. He has done a great work of charity. He has inspired a lot of people. He has, you know, he has done a lot of things. And this is just a beauty. It's just, when you read his story or when you go through his story, it's just beautiful and shows you that Africa is just so great.
Absolutely. And they don't recognize you unless you become like Oliver. People like Oliver, for them, before they recognize you, even if I don't mention names, like everybody will know who I'm talking about. They recognize you when you start doing great for your people, and they will not even understand that that is a method of that kind of great people, the method they use to fight for their people. Why will you wait until somebody starts doing well and then start recognizing them and then you even be using them to
achieve their goals,
yes, to achieve
or to push in their agendas for their programs.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that is what they do.
Yeah. So, what do you think Africans should do for Africa itself now? What do you think Africans should realize now? That
We should unite, like the AU anthem stated it. We unite and sing together. We unite and fight together. You know,
to show the positive side of Africa,
the positive
the
side
beautiful
of
side of Africa,
that we believe in ourselves and believe that we can do it, even without them. We have been repeating this. This is now a song to Africans. This is now a poem that we have been reciting long since, that we can do without the Europeans. It's high time that we Africans, start to believe. In fact, we should believe that we can do it without them.
Definitely.
You look around Africa, you see such talent. Now, looking at the music industry, do you know that we control the music, whether they like it or not, whether you like it or not. We control the music industry now. Go to Nigeria, they are doing well.
Afrobeat is international.
We are talking about Oliver, Zimbabwe. We have Japresa. Japresa is a great artist.
Exactly.
They are still doing the work. And we are doing great, and our people love what they do.
And so I think that this brings us to Africans embracing Africa, embracing their heritage, valuing themselves, and portraying the image of Africa positively, to dispel the picture that was given to the wider world that Africa is just a hopeless continent, a place where people don't have a future, there is no hope, we can't make it, and all the stories that we are told about Africa was just about poverty, starvation, hunger, disease, which is not true.
Absolutely.
Which is not true.
It's not true. And they know they are just castigating the image of Africa, but they know what Africans can do.
So, having gone through the story of Oliver Mtukudzi and his great achievements and his wonderful work, all he was able to achieve, how does it make you feel as an African?
Proud.
Very proud.
Very proud. Very proud of that man. That man really did great for us, and he is somebody that most of the young musicians of Africa should look up to. Yes,
and use him as a role model.
They should use him as a role model.
Believe in ourselves.
Yes,
and believe that Africa has got everything. We can do it.
Have it all.
We can do it.
We have it all
being
here.
African. When you look at Oliver, even his dress code, his music is just so Africanized. When you listen to his songs, you hear all the beats and the sounds and the voices of Africa in his music.
I mean the language is
in the language
he sang the songs. That is Africa.
That's Africa.
So
that's too beautiful.
So we should just believe in ourselves and
tell a better story
about Africa.
Thank you, Mr. Sanyan, for coming. That was Mr. Sanyan, and this is your wonderful and beautiful show, Stowa, Sweet Tales of Africa. Today we'll be drawing the curtain here, but do not forget, we are bringing you this live from a place we call the Elephant Tree in Banjul, Daranka, the Gambia. Have a nice time. This is Africa, the land of beauty and sweet tales.